Your phone is an absolute beast. It has more processing power than the computers that sent us to the moon, and a screen that's a work of art. But for all that power, isn't it kind of dumb? Think about the last time you tried to plan something simple, like a night out. You're jumping between texts to find the address, a maps app for directions, a restaurant app for reservations, and a calendar to make sure everyone's free. You are the one doing all the work, copying, pasting, connecting the dots. Your supercomputer is just a fancy container for apps, and you're the human glue holding it all together. Well, what if that was all about to change? Google is tired of your phone being just a powerful tool. They're executing a plan to finally make it a powerful partner. This isn't just another update. It's a fundamental rewiring of Android's DNA. They are building a new layer of intelligence designed to make your phone finally work for you. This is the story of Gemini Intelligence, and it's Google's bid to kill the operating system as we know it. The Proclamation. So, what exactly is Gemini Intelligence? Google's president of the Android ecosystem, Samir Samat, put it simply: this is a transition from an operating system to an intelligence system. That one sentence might sound like corporate speak, but what it actually means for you is this. For the first time, your phone won't wait for your instructions. It will understand your goal and figure out the rest itself. And the way Google is doing that is both impressive and, depending on how you look at it, a little unsettling. The headline feature, the core of this entire strategy, is task automation. This is where the abstract concept of an intelligent system becomes incredibly real and, frankly, a little magical. Already live on the latest Samsung Galaxy and Pixel phones since March 2026, and now expanding significantly. This is a glimpse into a radically different way of using our phones. Let's start with a common, frustrating task: grocery shopping. You've jotted down a list in a Notes app. Normally, the next step is a tedious process of opening your grocery app, searching for each item one by one, adding it to the cart, and checking out. With this new approach, the process would be completely different. You could simply long press the power button while viewing your list and say, "Build a shopping cart with all of these items for delivery." The AI would read the content on your screen, understand the list, open your grocery app, and start adding each item to your cart automatically. You would see its progress with a notification on your screen, and it would always wait for your final approval before making a purchase, keeping you in control. Let's take it a step further. Imagine you're a student who just received a syllabus in Gmail. Instead of manually searching for each textbook, you could say, "Find all the books from the syllabus and add them to my cart." The AI would read the email, identify the book titles, open the shopping app, and build your cart. The hours of administrative drudgery start to melt away. One of the most impressive concepts involved travel. Imagine seeing a brochure for a hotel. Instead of trying to Google it, you take a photo. Then, you tell the AI, "Find a tour like this on Expedia, but book it for 6 people." The system would analyze the image, understand the location and style, search for similar options, and prepare the booking for your group, all from a single photo and a voice command. This is the promise: to take your intention and turn it into action. The supporting cast. But task automation is only one piece. Google is also quietly rebuilding the small daily frictions that drain your time without you even noticing. Take voice dictation. We've all been there, trying to dictate a message that comes out as a complete mess. You change your mind mid-sentence, fill the gaps with ums and ahs, repeat yourself, and end up with something totally unusable. Google's new feature, called Rambler, fixes exactly that. Built into Gboard, it uses Gemini to understand the intent behind your spoken words, not just the words themselves. It strips out the pauses, the self-corrections, and delivers the clean message you actually meant to send. It even handles mid-sentence corrections and can switch languages within a single message. And your audio is never stored. It's only used for real-time transcription. Then there's Create My Widget, which is arguably the first time Android's home screen has felt genuinely exciting in years. For the first time, you don't need to be a developer to build exactly what you want on your screen. You just describe it. A cyclist's weather dashboard showing only wind speed and rain. A weekly meal prep planner. A countdown to your next holiday. Gemini builds it for you. Everyone becomes their own app developer without writing a single line of code And the same works on your watch, generating custom tiles from a simple description. And finally, there's Intelligent Autofill, powered by Personal Intelligence. This strictly opt-in feature allows Gemini to securely pull information from your connected apps to fill out complex forms automatically. A Spark badge appears on your keyboard when it can help, and you stay in full control of what it accesses. These might sound like smaller features next to full task automation, but that's exactly the point. Google isn't just trying to handle your big tasks. They want Gemini to eliminate every single moment of friction in your day, no matter how small. The ecosystem. Google's ambition here doesn't stop at the phone. Gemini Intelligence is being woven into the entire Android ecosystem. The most exciting new hardware category is called Googlebook. These are not Chromebooks. While Chromebooks are cloud-first, Googlebooks are intelligence-first laptops, designed from the ground up for Gemini, running Android apps natively. One signature feature is Magic Pointer, where wiggling your cursor brings up an AI action menu. Hardware partners confirmed include Acer, Asus, Dell, HP, and Lenovo, with devices launching in fall 2026. The car is also getting a major upgrade. With over 250 million cars running Android Auto, this is a massive platform. The interface is getting a redesign with Magic Q, replies suggesting contextual actions, like responding to a text with your ETA. You can order from DoorDash with your voice while you drive. And Google Maps is getting what Google calls its biggest update in over a decade, with immersive three-dimensional navigation. And of course, Wear OS gets custom tiles, and the upcoming Android XR platform, being developed with Samsung, and Xreal, is also set to be deeply integrated. The message is clear. Gemini is designed to be the invisible thread, connecting all the screens in your life. The big questions. Whenever a company's strategy involves an AI reading your emails and looking at your photos, alarm bells for privacy start ringing, and rightly so. But Google has thought about this carefully. Everything is strictly opt-in, with per-app automation toggles giving you granular control over what Gemini can and cannot touch. When it comes to purchases, Gemini never acts alone. It will build your shopping cart, but the final payment confirmation is always yours. Your phone does the legwork. You approve the bill. And when Gemini is actively running a task, a persistent notification stays on your screen the entire time, so you always know exactly what it's doing. Sensitive processing happens on device, inside a secure environment, the private compute core. And a new AI activity log in the privacy dashboard will show you exactly which AI assistants were active and which apps they accessed in the last 24 hours. Google's pitch is simple. All the convenience, none of the blind trust. Of course, this is all happening in a fiercely competitive landscape, and the elephant in the room is Apple. Apple Intelligence was announced with enormous fanfare, promising a smarter Siri, deeper app integration, and a more personal AI experience. And to be fair, Apple's vision is compelling. They have the hardware, the ecosystem, and the privacy credibility to make it work. But here's the problem. Apple has been promising these things for over a year now, and the most ambitious features are still not fully delivered. Google didn't wait. While Apple was still figuring out its AI roadmap, Google shipped. Task automation is already live. The rollout timeline is confirmed. The hardware partners are named. And perhaps most tellingly, Google timed this entire announcement for exactly 27 days before Apple's WWDC, where Apple is expected to finally show its long-awaited Siri reboot. That's not a coincidence. That's a statement. The name Gemini Intelligence itself is no accident. It's a direct mirror of Apple Intelligence, and Google knows exactly what it's doing. The message to the market is clear. We moved first, we moved faster, and by the time Apple takes the stage, we'll already be in your pocket. The AI war for your phone is no longer coming. It has already started. And right now, Google has the first mover advantage. The rollout. This isn't a far-off concept. The rollout is already underway. The first wave of Gemini Intelligence features is landing on the latest Samsung Galaxy and Google Pixel phones this summer 2026. Gemini and Chrome for Android arrives in late June. The rest of the ecosystem, Android Auto, Wear OS, and the new Googlebook laptops, will see their updates in the second half of 2026. It's an aggressive but logical timeline that shows just how serious Google is. What we are witnessing isn't just a software update. It's a declaration. Google is making a fundamental bet that the era of the operating system is over, and the era of the intelligence system has begun. They are not asking you to learn new features. They are asking you to hand over the wheel. And that is where it gets interesting. Because for all the convenience, all the automation, all the friction that disappears, a question remains. When your phone starts making decisions on your behalf, booking your classes, building your carts, filling your forms, where exactly does the assistant end and you begin? Google's answer is that you're always in control. But the most powerful technology in history has a habit of quietly reshaping the people who use it, long before they notice. So yes, your phone is about to get a lot smarter. The real question isn't whether you'll use it. You will. The question is what you'll stop doing yourself. If this got you thinking, drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more analysis like this, subscribing genuinely helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching.